Representative Adam Schiff claims it's wrong for a president to investigate his rival after defending Obama investigating Trump. Hello and welcome to TST. If you're new to the channel, tap on the subscription button and press the notification bell so you can receive news and updates that you can rely on daily. Schiff was responding to a query posed by Senators Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz, asking a hypothetical question about whether Obama would have had the authority to investigate suspected corruption by a son of Mitt Romney, Obama's rival in his 2012 re-election campaign. The lead House manager dismissed the hypothetical, then went on to argue that a president should not ask the DOJ to investigate a rival. But as Breitbart News noted last week, Schiff wrote in the Washington Post in April 2019, counterintelligence investigations differ from criminal investigations in their means, scope, and ultimate disposition. Their goal is not successful prosecutions, but to identify and mitigate threats to national security. If a foreign power possessed compromising information on a U.S. government official in a position of influence, that is a counterintelligence risk. If a foreign power possessed leverage or the perception of it over the president, that is a counterintelligence nightmare. Take a watch.
Senator Graham and Senator Cruz pose this question for the House managers. In Mr. Schiff's hypothetical, if President Obama had evidence that Mitt Romney's son was being paid $1 million per year by a corrupt Russian company and Mitt Romney had acted to benefit that company, would Obama have authority to ask that that potential corruption be investigated?
Well, first of all, the hypothetical is a bit off because it presumes that in that hypothetical that President Obama was acting corruptly, or there was evidence he was acting corruptly with respect to his son. But nonetheless, let's take your hypothetical on its terms. Would it have been impeachable if Barack Obama had tried to get Medvedev to do an investigation of Mitt Romney, whether it was justified or unjustified? The reality is, for a president to withhold military aid from an ally, or in the hypothetical, to withhold it to benefit an adversary, to target their political opponent is wrong and corrupt, period. End of story. And if you allow a president to rationalize that conduct, rationalize jeopardizing the nation's security, to benefit himself because he believes that his opponent should be investigated by a foreign power, that is impeachable. Now, if you have a legitimate reason to think that any U.S. person has committed an offense, there are legitimate ways to have an investigation conducted. There are legitimate ways to have the Justice Department conduct an investigation. I would suggest to you that for a president to turn to his Justice Department and say, I want you to investigate my political rival, taints whatever investigation they do. Presidents should not be in the business of asking even their own Justice Department to investigate their rivals. The Justice Department ought to have some independence from the political desires of the president. And one of the deeply troubling circumstances of the current presidency is you do have a president of the United States speaking quite openly, urging his Justice Department to investigate his perceived enemies. That should not take place either. But under no circumstances do you go outside of your own legitimate law enforcement process to ask a foreign power to investigate your rival, whether you think there's cause or you don't think there's cause. And you certainly don't invite that foreign power to try to influence an election to your benefit. It's remarkable to me that we even have to have this conversation. I mean, our own FBI director has made it abundantly clear, and it shouldn't require an FBI director to say this, that if we were approached with an offer of foreign help, we should turn it down. We should, of course, certainly not solicit a foreign country to intervene in our election. And whether we think there's grounds or we don't, the idea that we would hold our own country's security hostage by withholding aid to a nation at war, to either damage our ally or help our adversary because they will conduct an investigation into our opponent. I can't imagine any circumstance where that's justified. And I can't imagine any circumstance where we would want to say the President of the United States can target his rival, can illicit foreign help in an election, can help him cheat, and that's okay. Because that will dramatically lower the bar for what we have a right to expect in the President of the United States, and that is they're acting in our interests. So I would say it's wrong for President of the United States to be asking for political prosecutions by his own Justice Department. I would say it's wrong for President of the United States to ask a foreign power to engage in an investigation of his political rival, but particularly where, as we have shown here, there is no merit to that investigation is even more egregious. And you know there's no merit to it because he didn't even want the investigation. And the more accurate parallel, Senator, would be if Barack Obama said, I don't even need you, Russia, to do the investigation. I just want you to announce it. Because that betrays the fact there was no legitimate basis, because the president didn't even need the investigation done. He just wanted it announced. And there is no legitimate explanation for that except he wanted their help in cheating in the next election.
Later on, White House attorney Jay Sekulow noted that Trump had been a victim of exactly the kind of investigation that the Obama administration had initiated under Operation Crossfire Hurricane. Take a watch.
To use Manager Schiff's words, he talked about it would be wrong if the FBI or the Department of Justice was starting a political investigation of someone's political opponent. And I'm thinking to myself, but isn't that exactly what happened? The Department of Justice and the FBI engaged in an investigation of the candidate for President of the United States when they started their operation called Crossfire Hurricane. He said it would be targeting a rival. Well, that's what that did. He said it would be calling for foreign assistance in that. Well, in the particular facts of Crossfire Hurricane, it has been well established now that, in fact, Fusion GPS utilized the services of a former foreign intelligence officer, Christopher Steele, to put together a dossier, and that Christopher Steele relied on his network of resources around the globe, including in Russia and other places, to put together this dossier, which then James Comey said was unverified and salacious, but yet it was the basis upon which the Department of Justice and the FBI obtained FISA warrants, and this was in 2016, against a rival campaign. So we don't have to do hypotheticals. That's precisely the situation.
Schiff is on record backing that investigation as above. It's perfectly fine when Obama's done it. It's awfully wrong and even a hideous crime where Trump only wanted an announcement, not an actual investigation, where an actual investigation was really needed, considered all that is being exposed regularly about Hunter Biden and the Biden family, their shady business abusing Joe's power as Obama's number 2. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And haven't you checked out the official TST store yet? It has a variety of Patriot-themed custom t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, phone cases, and tons more. Make sure to take a look and maybe help us out by picking some products for yourself and your loved ones at great prices. It does make a huge difference to what we're doing here. Link in the description below. If you've liked this report, let us know by tapping that like button down below. Share the news among friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more news and updates on TST. This is David Ravine, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, take care.